Hi guys, this is Horror Studio One coming to you once again with the live streams. It has been a while, guys. All right, so before we get into anything, I want to first thank you guys for 20 million views. All right, 20 million views on my YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel in May 1st of 2015. It's been close to 2 years, and yeah, we're getting 20 million views. Has anyone in here yet? Is there anything? I'm just looking into the chat. Hi, everybody. So it's been a long time since I've done a stream, and it's crazy. They've changed so many things. There's like a super chat stuff now. In relation to that, actually, if you guys didn't know, due to the recent YouTube stuff going on, I actually started a Patreon account. And if you guys want to go to my Patreon account, pledge, support, even $1 a month or something like that, I'd be really happy because I am doing YouTube full-time right now as a full-time YouTuber. So that would be greatly appreciated. But you don't really have to. But if you want to help me out, if my videos help you out during the day, you're cooking or you're cleaning dishes, and then you use my daily content as a way to spend your time, and you feel like I'm worth it, you can just give me $1 or something like that, or just anything, and anything helps right now. So there's a link in the description below for the Patreon account. You can go pledge. For those who pledge, actually, there has been a bunch of you who pledge, and I'll read out your names today. I want to thank you, dudes, for everything you've done for me today. Before we start today's anything today, I just want to thank these guys. There's many things you can do with Patreon, by next Tuesday, which is going to be my next live stream, hopefully, I'm going to try to do once a week now, I will set up polls, extra videos, and stuff on that Patreon account that only people who pledge get exclusive power to view and to decide. So one thing I'll definitely do is like a poll on what kind of topics you guys want for whatever videos. Or if you guys want to co-host one of these live streams with me, becoming a pledger can also allow you the chance to do that with me on one of my live streams and talk to me and stuff like that and help me out. And yeah, share your own stories on here if you guys want. So go check out the Patreon account. For those guys who did pledge to me right now, I'm just gonna go into it and get your names, because I really want to thank you guys for everything you've done. The response has been mostly positive. So right now there's about 23 of you guys who have pledged, and I want to thank every single one of you guys. So I'm just going to get out your names, and yeah. So there's a full list of everybody, actually, and hopefully I don't forget anyone. But it's just funny. So there was no specific order. I guess it's just the order by the day you guys pledged. I hope I got to all of you. If you don't, if I didn't, message me or post it on my Patreon page, and I will thank you guys next week or stuff like that. So these are varying pledges that you guys did, from ranging from $1 to $20 to even more than that. And I want to thank you guys so much. So Daniel R., Brian Ward, Olive, Jonas Jeeson Pedersen, Melissa McDermott, Wei Hayes, I'm sorry if I'm butchering all your names, Stacy Cartnell, Danny Gomez, Emily Frank, Candy, just Candy, Rainy Gier, that's a pretty cool name, Richard Bryce, yeah, man, that sounds, it's white as hell. Selena, and then I'm guessing you're European. Hagforden, something like that. Okay. Alicia Ramos, Eve. All right, it's cool. Ronald Chapman. That's a cool name. I think you've commented on a few of my videos, Ronald. Desi Queeley, sorry. I think you also commented on a few of my videos. Desi's a cool name. I got a friend named Desi. Josh. All right. Connie, Louise, Jennifer Ward, Michaela, Raquel. Raquel's, I think we've talked before in the past. So those are I think there are 23 of them, right? So those are the guys. I want to thank you guys so much for everything so far. And yeah, so go check out my Patreon if you haven't, and go to my other social media and help help give me a like or something like that, or follow me. So I'm just looking in the comments right now, and then we're gonna get our scary stories started. So if you guys send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, you guys can come in and share your own true scary stories if you guys do have them. But even without you guys, I have some crazy stories here that people have sent me before that are pretty epic. Actually, with all the videos I've posted recently, the topics, a lot of people have been sending me those similar topics. And instead of making a video, why not just read them online, kind of thing. So you guys are looking in the chat right now. You got Insta? Yes, I do have Instagram. I don't have any photos right now. But yeah, I mean, it's go. I don't know, man. Follow me for now. One day, one day it'll happen. What's the most someone donated? I think it's like $20-something or something. But I think that's my mom. I think that's my. She saw it. She's like, you know what? I'll just donate $20 to this guy. It's my mom. So you don't want to beat my mom. Come on. All right. So hi, Angel. Hi everybody. All right. So let's get to narrating a really interesting story. And if you guys do have your own stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and you guys can get in here. All right, let's get started with the narrations. So this is in regard to the ice cream truck horror story that I did before. Hello, my friend. Your show about the ice cream man hit home with me today. I was typing my story into your chat, but when I noticed it was becoming too long, I figured I would just send it to your email for you to set aside until you get a few more to add with it, and do another video about the ice cream truck. Maybe I will, but there's not a lot about ice cream truck stories, but I just narrated this here. And it's by my friend Pharaoh. If you don't know who she is, she's come in multiple times. If you let me know when you'll do another live show and you want me to come on and tell this story myself, I will do so. Proof of why those of us who have no fear would fear when the life of others are in our hands. I'm sure you remember asking what made me have fear when you know me to be fearless. When I told my story about those frat boys running after my mother, brother, and I as we were riding our bikes one night, I told you my fear was because my big brother's life was in my hands, because he was not aware of the danger we were in, so he was riding slow. Well, there is only so much you can do to save people who will not listen to you when you see danger they cannot see. The fact that I am a woman and the person whose life I was trying to save was a man did not help the situation much either. My big brother, knowing that he was the oldest, hated the fact that I was the wiser than he was. We were children, so I guess you would say girl and boy instead of woman and man. Even though men will go their whole life acting like that even when they grow up, even if they are younger than the woman. They want to be given authority over all women's lives. No disrespect to you being a man, but that is what I see, so that is what I will say. Now, let me move on to the story. I am actually in tears right now, just thinking about this story, which is why your channel is more like group therapy for the most of us. But the story goes like this. The ice cream man killed my older brother. Newsflash for everyone, not just children. It is best to keep ice creams in your freezer from the grocery store. If the ice cream man is white, they are known to rub their dick or sperm in or on your ice cream in one way or another. If the ice cream man is black, they are known to put drugs in your ice cream in one way or another. According to Pharaoh, okay? Both races have been known to kidnap children to rape, kill, or sell. The white men will also expose their dick to you, claiming it was by mistake. The black men will try to date you to have sex with you by giving you free ice creams to start off the relationship. Extra newsflash, the black children. So Pharaoh is black. Even if the ice cream man is someone you know from your neighborhood, mainly if it is someone you know, never buy or take free ice cream from them. They get to know you and will even hang with your parents to get you to trust them like a relative. They will plan what they want to do to you all the years of your life and pull off their plan as soon as they feel like You look like a ripe fruit ready to be picked." So because I was a child that listened to my parents and never took anything from anyone, even relatives, the ice cream men were so made they could not get me using their ice cream. They would come through the neighborhood just when they know I am home and outside. They would even post up at my school and try to get me there. And because it was a friend of a family, they would yell to me as I was getting off from school and ask me to come over to get an ice cream. They would ignore the crowd of children around them to get my attention. A child is not supposed to notice that red flag, but I did. I would yell hi to them like they were family and wave as I continued to walk to my bus stop. Have any money, and they would say, "You are my little sister. You can get free ice cream." My friends around me would start to try pushing me into taking the free ice cream, saying, "Wow, that is your brother? If I were you, I'd go and get that ice cream. Girl, you crazy." I would slang my long hair and turn my back to the truck, change the look on my face to mean, and speak with my teeth closed, so my call friends who knows by now not to mess with me when I change characters on them like this. That is not my brother, and if you want the ice cream, you go get it. Now leave me alone before you get hurt. I would do that action so quickly, then turn my back around with the biggest smile on my face and push my friend who made that "if I were you, crazy you girl" statement. I would push her ass towards the truck and say, "My friend says she's hungry. Give mine to her. Give mine to her, big brother," with the biggest smile on my face. He would quickly say he can't, making money, giving all his ice cream away to anyone just like that. I would get preppy and slang my hair again with a smile on my face towards my friends and say, "Oh well, sorry girls, that my brother's not yours, so let's go. Anyways, big brother, see you later." When people hire an ice cream man, they will never pay more than one person to be in the truck at a time. Other children will not notice this red flag either, but there were 3 in the truck. Shit. It takes only 1 to train whoever was new to the job, and I noticed that every time I gave my answers, all 3 would pause to look at me to see what my answer would be. It was like seeing a movie go in slow motion, then go right back at the right speed once you take it off pause. The 2 who were not talking to me would do this action, and Chris, who was talking to me, would look at them to see if they can coach him on what to say next, because his lines were not smooth enough to get me to come near the truck to get free ice cream. So the last line Chris tried to yell out was, "We about to leave. Do you want to ride home?" I said, "No, thank you. I have fun when I catch the bus. Bye." And I ran off. Come to think of it, the story I told you about that grown man who tried to rape me on the bus must have been set up to make me scared to catch the bus. Wow. That is proof of how evil people will stick around you for your whole life and plot what they want to make happen in your life. If you do not play alone, the usual lines, meaning if you do not stick to the script, that is brainwashed into your soul by the way of television. Those who try to run a normal role on you will get mad if you don't play the role given to you. In fact, I can remember one of my conversations Chris had with my parents was about movies. He would ask if they'd seen certain movies to find out if I knew the role and the part I should play. Wow, you're making me put together a lot in my life. Thanks again. But when Chris came to my house that night, well, this is when I should let you know that my mother owned a sweet shop game room for children, and Chris was college age, so my mother allowed everyone from 25 and below in her shop, unless it was a parent with their child. She had different times to send each age level home, but because I was a child of the owner, I got to hang out with the big kids until the conversation got too vulgar for my virgin ears. Not expect me to thank him out loud in front of both of my parents for all his offers he made me today and how special he made me feel. My friends were so jealous of me. That was cool, big brother. Thanks again. Oh, God. The mean look on my father's face scared the hell out of him, so he left for the night, saying he had to go rest so he can go to work tomorrow. My mother smiled at him and told him thanks also. Please do not get it wrong. My mother was no fool. In fact, she was more sinister than my father. I went inside because a customer ordered a sandwich, and my mother followed as my father watched the store. The meat as she walked into the kitchen looking at me under-eyed, and I looked back at her the same way. I said, I fixed this him, didn't I? She said, if I seen the look my dad gave him. We both laughed so hard at how quickly he ran away. I said, the funniest part is how you smiled and told him thank you as if you meant it. I asked her if Dad knew how sneaky she was. She said that a girl's thing was to keep to ourselves. Then she hugged me and told me she was so proud of me. As I made the food, I told her word for word what had taken place that day. Days later, I had to tell her about what happened on the bus, and I did not put two and two together, even though I did notice that I did not see that ice cream truck again until after what happened on the bus. So after school, the same scene played out again, even the offer for a ride home. I can just imagine how upset predators and rapists get when they put up a roadblock with the script written there saying, you must go this way, and you still do not be led that way. The only thing that was different was the actions of my friends. They knew better by now, but that action made them give my friends free ice cream, and I waited until my friends came back with their ice cream. I had a sad look on my face, as if the bus situation had changed my spirits. So Chris took my no for a no when I did not want any frickin' ice cream. My stupid big brother was coming out of the school building and heard all the offers given to me and took the offers because he knew the men in the truck. I fussed at him and told him as I was gonna tell on him. He told me, shut up, stupid. Our parents said strangers. These are our brothers, not friggin' strangers. They laughed as they allowed him to enter the van with them. They said, tell her, bruh. I told my mother, but not my dad, because I did not want him to get beat again. Mom talked to him about it, but her being a woman, he was not going to listen to her. Chris and the crew allowed my brother to show me nothing was happening to him for a long time until they realized that it did not work to get my trust. My mother realized she had to tell my father because he would not listen to her. My dad beat his ass. He still did not listen. He just cussed me out and told me to shut up or he would beat me up. He knows he always lost our fights, but we were in high school, and I was too grown to have fights with him anymore, so I did as he asked. I got to take a break. I'm getting emotional now. Before I finish this story, read it and tell me if you want me to finish it, because I do not want to waste my time if you're not interested in the story. Your friend, Pharaoh. Yeah, I mean, I want to know the rest of the story because the title of the story is Your Brother Got Killed by the Ice Cream Man? Yes. If you're listening to this, send me the later half of the story and I will narrate the story here. So, yeah, that was a crazy friggin' story. Pharaoh has had a lot of interesting things happen to her life. If you guys don't know who Pharaoh is, she's an avid storyteller that when I did a lot of live streams, like twice a week, she would always come on and tell insane, interesting encounters. Maybe she grew up in a rougher neighborhood, so she had all these experiences. And yeah, go check out my other live streams. She's a reoccurring character in them to tell stories on here. So if you guys want to tell your stories, either maybe send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com to get a link to come in here, or you can send me, as Pharaoh did, just your whole story typed out if you guys don't wish to come on and tell it yourself. And it works either way. So yeah, do it now, guys, because this live stream is going to end soon. But if you guys do, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. Look at the comments. Again, the comments are very interesting. Just a lot of highs, some vulgarity. I like that. I follow you on Insta. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thanks. You should start a video with a clown mask. Yeah, actually, that is. Yeah, this clown thing is pretty much over now, isn't it? Like, it's not a thing anymore. I mean, it's just there's no clown encounters. I don't even know. Can you sing for us? Well, the thing is, you can't monetize videos that sing. If they're cover songs. How are you? I'm doing great, man. Haven't done a live stream in a while. So yeah, I came back. Lilith says, hello, you're awesome. You are too, man. Who is the guy behind you? Yeah, that doesn't get me anymore, guys. Come on. Love you. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Miss Midnight Kin. So if you guys don't know, talk about Patreon before. If you guys haven't, you can go support or whatever. If you guys have your own stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. So let's go into our next story. And it's actually like a written story to me in a Google Doc. So it's pretty interesting. So I'll just narrate it for you guys as well. Without your stories every night for me would be a never-deceasing throb of insomnia. Thank you for gratifying and captivating the void that I possess with comfort and reassurance. The necklace. This story portrays the intriguing concept of the butterfly effect, which is the idea that an insignificant series of events can have immense consequences to everyday life. My name is Brooke, and on the morning of January 23rd, 2004, my sister Abby and I witnessed a series of traumatic events play out. Our good friend Amanda was going on her first date and wanted to look her best. She asked Abby and I to tag along to Belk's to see if we could find the perfect accessory to complete her outfit. We had all recently just gotten matching flannels and hadn't worn them yet, so I texted Amanda to twin with us. After an hour of searching, the choices had been narrowed down to a thick, lengthy chain necklace and a choker made out of the same material. Both Abby and I agreed the choker looked better, so that's the one Amanda ended up buying. As we were all heading out to the car, we urged Amanda to try on her newly bought piece of jewelry. She caved and put on the metal choker. We were all pleased with the results of her shopping trip, but as Amanda was taking off the necklace, the clasp caught onto the collar button of her flannel shirt and unfortunately snapped. It sucked that she had just wasted $20 on such a delicate item. We waited in the parking lot as Amanda, pressed for time, ran into Bucks again and emerged with a chain necklace instead of another choker. She informed us that the choker they had picked out was out of stock, so she had bought their second choice, the long chain necklace. Both of the necklaces looked pretty similar, so it didn't really matter anyways. We wished Amanda good luck on her date and left her so she could go get ready. The rest of the story was put together from bits and pieces, gathered from different sources. As Amanda was walking to the Italian restaurant designated by her date, she noticed someone was following her. Slightly scared, Amanda started walking faster. She was suddenly stopped by a rough hand who grabbed the back of her chain necklace, which tugged her back and propelled her onto the concrete. The fall knocked her unconscious. The man then proceeded to wrap the thick chain around her neck, preventing any oxygen from entering her system. The murderer was reprimanded that night, identified as a registered sex offender who had recently been put on parole. Meanwhile, Amanda's date, who will go by the name of Jonathan, waited an hour before concluding that he had been stood up. Depressed, he moped to the bar across the street. After several drinks, he started talking to the stranger sitting next to him. After hours of debating the serious topic of death, the stranger broke down in tears, exclaiming he had decided against loading a gun and shooting himself in the head that very night. That stranger was our brother. The next day was the first day we had seen our brother in months. He explained his thoughts on suicide in vivid detail. We won't state the cause by his request. Our brother Christian was a changed man after talking to Jonathan. The next day also provided news that the Italian restaurant that Jonathan and Amanda had planned to dine at was the location of a major shooting. The shooting resulted in 5 injuries and 2 deaths. So, our brother was talked out of suicide because Jonathan went to the bar because Amanda didn't show up at the Italian restaurant because she got choked to death because she wore a long chain necklace, because the choker she bought broke, because she wore her flannel shirt, because we texted her that very morning to wear it. 2 lives were saved at the expense of 1. Jonathan and Amanda would have been caught in the middle of a shooting, and our brother Christian would have shot himself in the head. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry this story was so long. Dude, that's an epic story. God dang. Okay, so dude, if you're listening to this, like, author of the necklace, like, you know, I won't say your name, but you know who you are. Send me more stuff like this. This is an epic story. I might narrate this as a video in my video, man. Crazy story. I love this story, dude. Thank you so much. All right, so if you guys have your own true scary stories, whether ghost, paranormal, let's not be, you know, the butterfly effect, anything, or just want to talk, whatever, send me a blank email, horse21@gmail.com to get in here. I'm looking at the comments right now. I love this guy. Thanks, man. So how long have you guys been in here, like, listening to my videos? I mean, has it been 2 years? Who's been here since the very beginning? What state do I live in? I actually live in Canada, actually. You're the best, man. Thank you, Jonathan. Hi. 2-sentence horror stories. I actually did that back in the day. Like, you can go find that stuff. 1 year. That's pretty committed. I don't think you watch every video, right? You've been here 1 year. Yeah. Most of you have been here 1 year, man. Would you kill corpse husband or people? Why would I do that? Are you insane? Is this the butterfly effect again? Jesus Christ. All right. So, if you guys are own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com to try and get in here to tell a story. I've watched every story since 2015. I don't believe that, dude. Come on. Really? Honestly? You're that big of a fan? Then I gotta give you something special. How do you make a blank email? You know, just say, like, I want to get in or have a story. Doesn't have to be blank, but just send me an email so I can reply with a link. That's basically it. Thank you, Tracy. Been here for almost a year and loved your channel. Put it on autoplay and let it go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Autoplays and playlists are the best because it just keeps going and going. And these days, the more views, the better, right? Because of the crisis going on, right? Hopefully, things get better. But thank you, Angel. I watch all your videos. Thank you. All right. Did you guys send anything? So, this is as the title suggests, there's a story about a convicted high school coach, and it was sent to me by I'm not gonna read their name, but I'm guessing it's a girl, and it has a link to the news article as well, and I'm just gonna narrate that. And this is pretty crazy because I actually did a gym horror stories a couple days ago. You know, I got pretty good results. So, same with the ice cream truck story. A lot of people sending me similar topics. So if I do end up sending you guys a link, please just mute yourselves as I'm narrating the other stories, and then I'll get to you guys once I'm done narrating my stories. So I'm just gonna send some links out right now. You guys do come in here, mute yourselves so it doesn't interrupt the flow of the video. Thank you guys so much. So I'm just gonna go with this convicted high school coach story, and yeah, let's go into it. Hey horror studio, this is my first time ever writing a story, so please bear with me. Back in high school in 2011, I was on the girls wrestling team. The way it worked, back then at least, is that the boys team had a varsity and JV team that had matches against other schools during the week. Just like most sports teams, the girls were a little different. We would travel to wrestling tournaments on weekends against schools from all over Northern California. I think this was due to the fact that not every high school had a girls' team, and if they did, they had very few girls. Our team was huge. I think it had about 20 girls in total. The other high school in town had a girls' team of only 2 at the time, so you get the picture. Anyways, practice would be every day after school in the smaller gym. All guys and girls practiced together. We were treated no different from the guys as far as conditioning and workouts went. It was brutal, but so much fun. Practice was open to anyone to watch, and there were a lot of ins and outs of adults during practice. The occasional parent, but mostly other coaches from other teams that hung out at school after hours, one of many being Brock. He was some kind of strength and conditioning coach that was also a substitute teacher for our school. He was a young, tall, buff, handsome white guy with a typical football cap on and collared shirt. The girls at school swooned over him. Anyways, there was an after-hours class of weightlifting that he taught, but he always seemed to come into the gym to give us pointers. He had quite the wandering eye when it came to watching the girls practice, of course. Our wrestling uniforms were those tiny skin-tight singlets that you see wrestlers in, so at practice, the girls typically wore spandex and a tank top or t-shirt. Little to nothing. But so did the boys. So it was no big deal amongst each other. I'd say about a month into practice, Brock was getting real close to the hotter girls on the team. He'd come over and joke, pin them down, all that stuff, and seemed a little inappropriate if you ask me. My best friend since kindergarten was also on the team. She was a gorgeous light-skinned black girl that always had guys chasing after her. I saw Brock approach her a few times, but didn't think much of it. Later that week, one morning after getting off the bus and waiting for first period to start, she pulled me close and told me she had something to tell me. I came close to her in excitement that maybe she was talking to a new boy or something, but she starts with, "Okay, dude, you can't say anything, promise?" I say, "Duh." And she proceeds with, "Okay, I was on Facebook a few days ago and saw that I had a friend request, and it was Brock, the coach." I looked at her with that what the fuck look and instantly knew where this was going. She continued by saying, "So I looked and we had mutual friends and they were students that go to Vintage. So I thought, okay, cool, but it's not that weird then. And I approved him. A few minutes later, I was still on here and I received a message from him saying, 'Hey, how are you? Saw you at practice today. You look great as always.' I was creeped out. Mostly because he was nowhere in sight at practice that day, from what we remembered. Every time we saw him coming through the doors, we always looked at each other and rolled our eyes and giggled. If you're a girl, you know what I'm talking about. That unspoken inside joke with your best friend. Anyways, we talked about how he wasn't even there that day, and he told me he had messaged her again the night before and asked if she wanted private lessons and pointers from him in wrestling. She just replied with an awkward, "I'm okay." I almost couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, "Dude, you gotta report him to the office. That's inappropriate as fuck. What a weirdo." She told me she didn't want to get him in trouble, so she deleted him off of Facebook, hoping he would help to realize that he just needed to back off. He messaged her more than one time after that, but she never replied. With this, he definitely backed off of her. He would still show up, but he migrated towards other girls. He seemed to ignore her after that. We didn't think much of it anymore after some months passed. Later that school year, this creep was arrested for having sex with girl students at our school. The school was just buzzing with rumors about who is what it was with and whether it was consensual or rape. As soon as I got this, I called my friend and asked her where she was on campus. We met up at an unusual school spot, and I said, dude, you have to get those messages he sent you on Facebook. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of investigation on him, and that fucker is guilty. We have to show it to the police. She was super nervous, but agreed that it had to be done, because at this point, no one really knew the details if it was rape or not, and those messages were proof that he was a predator. My friend opened up her Facebook and went to the messages, and sure enough, nothing. There was just that generic gray person profile picture when someone doesn't have a display picture. She clicked on the conversation, and they were gone. All I read was that this person had deleted their profile, and there were no messages to be displayed. We all just looked at the screen with our jaws dropped. We gave it a few days, and she decided not to go to the police. She didn't have proof, and she sure as hell didn't want to testify or be involved in the case. It turns out he was having consensual sex with 2 girls at our school, and he was convicted of the crimes. He's an idiot. He was a good-looking guy. Someone who definitely have no trouble finding women that are interested in him. But hey, I guess there's no changing a sex offender's preference in teenage girls. I have attached a link and photo. All right, so there's a picture of the guy. It's okay looking. But I never knew that you could do that. So if you send a message on Facebook, just delete your profile, those messages go away. I never knew it worked like that. I never deleted Facebook, and I never knew anyone who deleted their Facebook. So I don't know. I don't know. So let's go check out this link that he sent to me. You guys can go check it out as well. Open another tab and go check it out or something. The link isn't working. Should be, bro. Send you again, dude. Should be working. Yeah, so if you guys have your own true scary stories you want to come and tell, you know, say hi, stuff like that, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and there is a chance that you will get in here. So this was a news from 2013. It says, ex-coach Brock Daniels gets year in jail for sex crime. So go check it out, and you can see the guy. And I'm trying to load the page, actually. Let's see this real news article. That's pretty messed up, though. So this was in June of 2013. Oh, damn it! To read it, you gotta do a survey, man. Have you ever brought a gift card as a gift? I'm not sure. There's yes, no, I'm not sure. I just put I'm not sure. Like, I know, I'm guessing. So apparently the link's not working. So if you guys, I don't know. Is that happening for anyone else I've sent the link to? Carrie says, I know a super creepy pedophile story. All right, I want to share. Anyways, so let's read this. So ex-coach Brock Daniels gets 1 year in jail for sex crimes. The quote is, "My heart is broken," says father of one victim. A former strength coach substitute teacher at Vintage High School was sentenced in Napa Superior Court on Wednesday morning to 1 year in jail for having had sex with 2 teenagers in 2011. Brock Daniels, 26, of Napa, was sentenced by Judge whatever after he pleaded no contest on May 6 to 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse. Tisher called that's the judge's name, called a sentence negotiated between the Napa County District Attorney's Office and Brock's defense attorney extremely light. Yet the judge said she understood the pleas was reached in order to spare the victims from testifying in open court. She also ordered Daniels to remain on probation for 3 years and to register as a sex offender. Before Daniels was sentenced, the parents of one of the victims addressed the court, calling the entire experience a nightmare. The mother said appearing in court was one of the hardest days of my life. Her daughter, she said, had been bullied at school. She had been damaged because of Brock Daniels, she told the court. I hate what you've done to my daughter, said the woman, who repeatedly called Daniels a pedophile. Her husband, looking ashen, also spoke after glancing angrily at Daniels' family, sitting in the back of the courtroom. My heart is broken, said the man, as he stood at the podium a few feet away from Daniels and his attorney. And it will be broken for a long time. The parents briefly left the courtroom before they were brought back to hear Daniels, the son of a Napa police officer and a retired Napa sheriff's deputy, apologize to the victims, their parents, and the community of Napa, and for having let down so many people. They were friendships that got too close, Daniels told the court, referring to the female teenagers. I never meant to do any harm to anyone, but Tischer said his decision to have sexual relationships with minors showed a conscious decision. Tischer noted letters in support of Daniels that protested the registration requirement as too harsh. The judge explained she had to accept the negotiated plea in its entirety or reject it all. A familiar figure on the vintage athletic fields until his arrest in July 2012, Daniels could have spent 5 years, 8 months in state prison had a jury found him guilty of the 17 felonies and 12 misdemeanors originally filed by the district attorney's office. The parents who spoke in court said they wanted to have Daniels sent to jail immediately. But I guess the lawyer said his client wanted to spend one more weekend with his mother, who is very ill. The prosecutor also objected, noting the former sheriff's deputy's illness was not a new situation. Tischer ordered Daniels to report to the Napa County Jail at 8 a.m. Tuesday. Wow. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know. There's a lot of controversy about is he too, I don't know, man. Like, the guy was 26, and then the girl's 18. They're 8 years apart. Is that really right, though, to do that? I don't know. I don't know. Like, personally, dude, I'm going to sound like a dick. Like, I'm like, what, like early 20s. And if I got a job as a substitute teacher or something, and there was like an 18-year-old girl, or like a 17 to 18-year-old girl, I mean, they're pretty much 18. If the girl's like 17-ish and she looks mature, she's pretty much 18. And let's say I was 20. I'm considered an adult and she's not. But is that really, I don't know. There's a lot of controversy over this. I mean, the guy's not 50, right? And it was consensual sex, but I don't know. I know it's obviously not right. I don't know. I don't know, man. But there was a lot of stuff in the comments. The real depends how old the girls were. The dude's 26. I mean, if the girls were like 16, yeah, that's pretty messed up to me. But or like 13 or something, 13, 14, like freshmen in high school. Like, that's fucked up. But I mean, I don't know. No. Anyways, go back to the comments. Please give a shout out. Hi. Okay. Notice me. Hi. The stories not need to be a certain. I mean, this is a scary story channel, so hopefully they are like reasonably scary, like not like a comedic story. I mean, if it's like a heartwarming ghost story, that works. I mean, I do a bunch of those as well. So right? Okay, so if you guys do have your own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com to get in here. It's pretty great. How's everyone enjoying spring? It's pretty cool, man. I'm just checking emails. You guys send me stories. Yes, a lot of people are saying that they're having a hard time getting in here. I don't know what to do. I'm just keep resending the same link. Is that why no one's coming in today? I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's okay though. So, this next story is a creepypasta, but let's do it anyways. This guy's like, not a writer, but I tried, and I think the name of the creepypasta is Audio Not Found. If you ever do read this creepypasta, please don't read this part. Oh, okay, never mind. He's just saying that he likes me a lot and he wants to. He's my biggest fan. So the name is Audio Not Found. I live in Denver, Colorado with my grandmother while I go to Denver's art school, DSA. She loves the Museum of Nature and Science, and every time they have a special exhibit, she insists on going, even if she does not have the money for it. In April, she decided to go to the Vikings exhibit since she is very fascinated with Vikings. She also dedicated to decide to get a ticket for me. Since she spent a lot of money on the ticket, and I know that if I don't go, she will complain about it for weeks. So Saturday comes and we leave to go to the exhibits. We have a smooth trip over and surprisingly not much traffic. Once we get to the third floor of the museum, we see a line and on the wall in big words, Vikings. So we go up to the line and wait for them to scan our tickets. They also have audio boxes that have buttons with numbers 1 to 9. You can press the buttons in orders on the signs and listen to audio about the piece in the exhibits. Also, they have it in Spanish and you can type a 5 at the end for it. Anyways, I go through the exhibit and don't listen to the audio. My grandma, is at the beginning of the exhibit still taking her sweet time. I decided to sit down on a bench and press the button to hear the audio. I listened to all the buttons that had audio, and then on 8, it told some information about stereotypes about Vikings, and at the end, it said, "Our Viking exploration has ended. I hope you enjoy the exhibit." My grandma is still farther back, so I decide to press more button patterns, and I get the error message on all of them, but then I press 9. I hear some light static, then hear, "Hello, welcome to part 9. I think, wait, isn't this supposed to be over at 8? I hear the light static again, and then I hear, "This is a confession. In exhibition health, I killed a little girl. She's just sitting there, and everyone thinks she's part of the exhibit. I skinned her, and I never felt so alive. I feel like I could throw up, but I go up to the security guard to get them to listen to the message, and they turn pale when listening to it. This girl had been missing for a week, and no one noticed her skinned alive and left to rot." Seriously though, this may not be the best creepypasta, but I've always been really afraid of those friggin' exhibits, man. Those ones that like they're like for the Holocaust or something, and then they just make you listen to audios of like those like voices or like histories. Like, always think some crazy stuff is gonna happen. I remember one year I went to the exhibit it was the Holocaust, and it was like a chamber that was supposed to replicate what it was like being a prison, like one of the Jewish prisons inside the Holocaust camp. And my friends, they pushed me in and they locked me inside, and there was all this writing on the wall. I mean, I'm legit. Most of it was like what's it called? Like just probably teenagers vandalizing a place, like fuck you, and shit like that. But holy shit, that feeling, and then like all that music playing, that creepy atmosphere. It was like this encased box, steel box kind of thing. There was one lamp at the top and stuff, and yeah, those museums. I don't know. I always feel like history and the paranormal, they're really intertwined to me. So those places have always freaked me out. I can never work in like a museum or the library. Like the quietness, the stillness, the deadness of those places with the history and just the few people that are there, like the unliveliness of the place, it just makes you think of paranormal stuff. And granted, I do a job that reads ghost stories, but I think that job, being like working in like some dead museum at night, night of the museum, stuff like that, it would be a much scarier job actually coming in contact with places like that. I mean, my job as a horror YouTuber, I read ghost stories, but I do it in like a brightly lit room with friggin', drawers opened and a window, and like, it's like 5 in the afternoon right now in Canada. So anyways, cool story. It's not bad, bro. It's not bad. So let's go to the comments and see what you guys have to say. What nationality are you? I'm Chinese. Isn't it obvious? Hey, HS1, what up? Peace be with you. And have you heard of Robert the Doll? Yeah, I have. And I think Alla, you've been here before, right? You also commented on what's it called? My Jin video, right? I remember you. So Robert the Doll, yeah, and that was like, I heard that there was like a really old video to it. I'll see if I can find it one day. Or you guys go check it out. Robert the Doll. It's like a creepy ass video. All right, I remember being in high school and being like always watching that Robert the Doll thing. Like, what red shirt, man? What red shirt? You were saying the red shirt's moving behind me. That's fucking creepy. It's not. It's not, man. It's the wind. Because the window's open. You fucking don't scare me like that, man. No, it's not. People are saying in the comments my red shirt is moving. I'm guessing it's that one right there. It's not, man. It's the wind, and because it's red, it's noticeable. So it's like calm down. Like I'm scared. All right, come on, man. It didn't. Can you speak Cantonese? Yes, I can speak Cantonese. And no, it didn't move, man. What are you guys talking about? No, it's because of the wind, dude. Like, seriously. Shut the... Actually getting mad. No, it didn't. Oh, it didn't, man. You know what? Let's prove this. Look. All right, yep. Because my window's open, all right? Look. Window open. That's why. I want this to be like a horror movie, man. All right. So, if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. Let's go into our next story. And I'm pretty sure this is also creepypasta, but why not? They didn't give it a name. My sketchbook. Dear Horror Studio 1, I am and have always been a very paranoid person, which has quite nearly destroyed my potential friendships, as I am very untrusting of the general public. This paranoia may have just been the thing that saved my sanity in such a situation. I live in a very old house, very deep inside the woods, surrounded by a few neighbors and many trees. I have always been very frightened of the dark woods as a child, had grown to admire the old trees and found the urge to explore their depths more and more intriguing. I would sit for hours and just stare into their great green depths, waiting for the perfect moment, the moment where all the trees were in bloom, and just as the spiders begin to build their intricate webs, The most beautiful time to explore the depths of a strange and disoriented green hue. Then, the perfect day I had imagined had finally come, and I would soon come to the conclusion that this was not going to be the perfect day I had imagined. I had spent much time of the day making sure everything was in order, as I planned to spend the night drifting asleep in the dark depths of the wood that I had once reasonably feared. I had packed foods and a small one-person hammock and other various items needed to survive overnight in the woods. I began wishing my parents and sister had a good evening. The treacherous walk into the woods. The one thing I did not anticipate was the various thorn bushes littering the floor of the woods. The sun began to fall. I decided to begin to set up my hammock, completely ignoring the tight knot forming in my stomach out of excitement. I began to make a fire, as my father had taught me, after voicing the desire to stay overnight in the woods, when I hear a slight shuffling to my left. Not as if a small animal were scurrying around upon the forest floor, but as if something much larger than a harmless animal. It was not close enough to see me, and I couldn't shake the feeling of sheer fear at this unknown figure. Of only what I can assume were footsteps loomed closer and closer. I made a split decision to slowly and quietly put the things for the fire back into my bag. I began to search for a tree with limbs easy to climb. I had found one and started to slowly climb. What I then heard terrified me, almost to the point of freezing. As I peer from without the leaves of the trees I had begun to climb, I hear a man's voice. And despite my previous thought of being hidden by the brush of the floor, of the woods floor, he could see me. I hear a hasty, "Shit, where'd she go?" I climb further and further up the tree. I see a man come from the brush surrounding the camp. On this particular night, the moon shone exceptionally bright and revealed something that nearly made me fall straight out of the tree. The man, older with a grotesque face covered in a layer what looked to be a red-brown substance that looked much like dried blood. He walked with a limp and a hunchback, his clothes ragged and torn and looked as if they had never been washed. He turned to reveal a silver knife, much cleaner than anything else he carried, as if it was a prized possession and was kept in the best condition. I watched in horror as he bent to inspect the ash from my failed attempt to create a fire upon the forest floor. He then looked up, sniffing the air as if hoping to smell me. This is when I first saw his eyes. And for some reason, that is what frightened me the most. His eyes were blue, but they contained no warmth. A pure icy blue, the kind that stare into your soul and hold it captive as long as your eyes meet. The man passed the area a few more times, mumbling nonsensical things under his breath. I sat frozen, cradled in the arms of the tree that saved me from encountering this man. I sat in that tree until the sun rose and ran all the way back to my old house, miles away from the spot where I camped, and told no one, and never entered the woods again. Nice. Good story, man. You know, this sounds really similar to the story I've narrated back in the day. It was like about a girl who got like these night vision goggles, and she goes in the forest, and she's like up a tree, and she finds a man is looking for her and stuff, and she's like just trying to be quiet because this man's like just like peering and leering and trying to find her, and eventually this man leaves and it's like messes up her car, and then she spent the whole night up in a tree just being like silently crying for the fact that this guy was like trying to find her and possibly rape, murder her and stuff. That's something really similar. I think Phantom Librarian also narrated that story as well. If you guys don't know who he is, go check him out, I guess. But Phantom Librarian's been gone for a while, so You know, I talked to him a couple times. I actually know how he looks like too. But anyways, I won't say anything about that though. But yeah, I done live streams before and we chilled here, man. And then this was like a year ago. He hasn't done videos in a year, man. See how long I've been doing YouTube? Like people have come and go, and I'm still here, dude. Like Jesus. Yeah, most people remember that story. It's pretty crazy. Your facial expressions are funny as fuck. People are saying, yeah, I don't know what happened to that guy, man. If you guys know, put in the comments. I don't know, man. People are like, what happened to Fan? Yeah, he had a crazy voice, honestly. He had a really nice voice. Honestly, I like him better than me. I like him better than myself. Like, Jesus. I think most people do. So subscriber count is doesn't represent how good you are a narrator, just I guess how hard you work. Really, subscriber count most of the time is. So Louise just posted in my Patreon about an hour ago. I love your narrations on YouTube. I hope my contribution helps at least a little bit. Thank you. I hope you can continue your channel and great work. So if you guys don't know, I opened a Patreon account to kind of combat these YouTube crisis, because it is my full-time job and I do want to continue making videos. So if you guys feel like I am worth it, or if you guys feel nice, have some extra money, you know, it's like $1 a month, just go and do it. Be a pledger, and then you can actually request various things and get many benefits from it as well. Guys, stop saying the shirt is moving. Yeah, it's just the wind, because my window's open. It's windy as heck. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Horror Studio, what do you find the most disturbing? I find what most disturbing are fans and viewers who keep trying to scare me. You know, it used to be my closet, all right, when it was darker, you know, saying there was a man in there, and now it's moving shirts. Like, I don't know what to do, man. Should I just, like, sit behind a wall, in front of a wall, and just, you know. Anyways. Yeah, I don't think it's moving, guys. I don't think it's moving. Stop trying to scare me. So, I also need more ghost stories, if you guys. So there is a few people who sent in their stories. So Sam, send me an email. You know, this isn't a story, but I really like your stories and hope that you can get more money, or at least enough to keep doing YouTube. I hope so as well, you know. Yeah, being a creator is hard, especially these days. Back then it was a bit better, you know. Long videos, lots of views and stuff, but I don't know, the horror community is kind of, I think this is my personal opinion, because I've been doing this for 2 years. I think I have the authority, at least some, to talk about the horror community, because it is my livelihood. I do it every single day, and I've been doing it for years, for this past 2 years, committed myself to really doing it, you know. I don't just post once a week, I do it like every day. So I'm in the horror community. The peak of it was really 2015, 2016. Like the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016 is. Well, that's when I joined personally, right? With a lot of the other guys, the OGs, I think, you know. Creepypasta, Corpse Husband, Lazy Masquerade. Those guys, we all kind of got into this at the same time, you know, and then it helped all of us, like some big, some small, you know. We all kind of got like a pretty big boost, right? And that was when it was the best, you know. I would get like 6-figure views or 5 any video, you know, back in 2015. But now these days, you know, not saying, I mean, like, it's definitely not trending as much as it used to. I hope it goes back to that, but you know, I will still continue doing it because it's something I committed myself to, and I think I'm a pretty persistent person, and I like doing it, you know. So yeah. White Rose says, I create a video to get people to help you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Thanks. What about Darkness Prevails? Darkness Prevails, I've talked to him a couple of times. He actually came in a bit after us. See, the thing is, again, subscriber count doesn't reflect a lot of things. Like, you would think that he would be here much longer because Darkness Prevails has a pretty crazy subscriber count. He has more than me, right? but I've been here a bit longer, you know, just that more people seem to like him and subscribe to him. So he was actually after us, though. I was here. I was one of the earliest people here, actually. So, yeah. People are like, what happened to Phantom Librarian? I don't know, man. I don't know. What about Mr. Nightmare? Mr. Nightmare was the first one, I think, for this True Scary Stories. Because before that, there was only creepypastas, I think. And then he did the first True Scary Stories, like, compilation, and then it just blew the hell up, man. He is the OG. He is the OG. All right. So thank you, Sam. Yeah, I hope I can continue making videos as well. So this is a Ghost Story submission. Hello. Huge fan of yours from Minneapolis. Sorry, not American. I've been meaning to send you this story for a while now. And since you needed more ghost stories, here's mine. Guys, I still need more ghost stories. And if you guys can send them with like a topic, like this is a woods ghost story, or this is a moving shirt ghost story, like I don't just have really helped me classify and make them into one concise video. This happened a couple years ago when I was still in college. I was with my roommate and one of our friends, and we were walking to a bus stop after visiting a friend in South Minneapolis. It was a little after 1 in the morning on a late spring, early summer night. As we were walking, making noise. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but in retrospect, it was odd to be hearing it that loud so late at night, and without apparent cause. After walking a few more blocks, the sound neither intensified nor decreased in volume. We came upon a playground on our left, separated from us by a wire fence. There was a little boy, around 7 years old, swinging alone on a swing set. A little more than an arm's reach away, there was a young girl a few years older than him, standing in front of a tree. They stood maybe 15 feet away from us. What was strangest about them, though, was that their appearance, as if they were in grayscale. They had a sort of glow to them, too, but they weren't giving off any lights, almost as if the sun was shining on these black and white children and nothing else. As we were staring at them in silence and disbelief, the girl moved to a place, something around her neck that had previously been hanging on the tree. I was unable to make out what the item was, but my best guess is either a necklace or, more disturbingly, a noose. We all briefly turned to look at each other in unison, gripped with something between fear and discomfort, then glanced back at the uncanny pair in the playground. Both children were now seated, motionless on the swings. Their bodies were facing the sidewalk where we stood, but their faces were turned as far away from us as possible. Very slowly, the pair began turning their face towards us. I was suddenly filled with terror, dreading the idea of them laying eyes on us. Seemingly at once, all three of us began to run towards our bus stop. As someone that enjoys media about horror and paranormal activity, a few things really stood out to me. First, this event took place in a heavily populated area. I found out that the playground is located behind City of Lakes Waldorf School, across the street from McDonald's. There are no claims of paranormal activity that I've been able to dig up in that area. If any listeners are local, you're welcome to check out the area yourself, but please be respectful. Secondly, all three of us had independently witnessed the same events. It's difficult with personal experiences to corroborate claims or prove that the experience occurred. None of us spoke to each other during the entire experience. It wasn't until we reached the bus stop that we felt safe enough to discuss what we had seen. The two other witnesses, still my friends to this day, really don't like it when the story is brought up. So if you guys hear that, it's not background music. It's actually 6 o'clock, right? Close to 6 in Toronto. So that bell ring. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's always peaceful to me. But sometimes when I record videos and it starts ringing, it pisses me off. Princess Petch says, I love your voice. Thanks, Princess Petch. You can hear the bell, yeah. It's pretty cool. Did you hear about creepypasta? They broke into his house. Yeah, I did. I was, you know, the reason I honestly, I gotta talk about this. Creepypasta is my favorite. Is like my favorite horror YouTuber. Is the reason I started YouTube is because of him. And I never really talked to him or met him before, but I wish one day I can. But it's not just about his house getting break. That I was like really sad. But recently, you know, if you go to his channel, go check it out. Maybe tell him I sent you or something, so he can notice me. But notice me, senpai. But he did a face reveal, man. Like now, I finally know when I did my face reveal, and you guys are like, "Oh my god, I see your face. You're Asian." Like it's shocking. I thought you were, you know, like a skinny white guy, gamer guy with long hair, like stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, right. Like, how shocked can you be? But I've been listening to him for like 3 years, like more than you guys have been listening to me. I've listened to creepypasta for 3 years, and seeing his face, you know, his what's it called? His live, is it called? It's like this video's live action, where he showed his face and he talked to the camera. I think, in personal opinion, I think it's because in response to his computer being stolen, and he didn't want, you know, the criminals to expose his identity and face. He didn't want them to profit from that. So he did a smart move. He came out himself and showed people his face, right, before they could. And yeah, I mean, I was surprised, man, pleasantly surprised, honestly. And it was like a surreal experience about that. So yeah, anyways, go check it out if you haven't. He's my favorite horror YouTuber. I idolize him. No, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I do. Like, if I could just, you know, collaborate with him one day, like that would be so insane. I think I even commented on that video of his, so yeah. Anyways, enough of that fanboying. So yeah, I guess that's all for today, man. There's a lot of people saying they like my channel. Thank you. Let's do a quick Q&A if you guys do have any remaining questions, and then that'll be it for today. But again, with the Patreon, I'm gonna, for those who did pledge, there will be polls and other stuff that I'll be doing that you guys can get access to. Maybe you can come on and co-host with me and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff I will be doing for those who do pledge. So thank you guys again. And yeah, I'm gonna hope to make it every Tuesday that will be live stream. So not tomorrow because I got something going on, but like every Tuesday starting next Tuesday, like 8 days from now. And then hopefully every Tuesday, because my school's over, I can be more consistent with live streams and interacting with you guys more as I used to, man. I just haven't been so busy and stuff with everything. So do you guys have any questions? Do you like K-pop? If so, no, I'm pretty old. So I still listen to like Big Bang. I don't know what BTS is. It's pretty popular, or like EXO is like the newest. I get. Like, I don't really, you know, not really that big of a fan. Can I adopt you? I guess. Okay. Weird question. Andrew asked, HS1, what kind of a degree do you always want to get? Is that okay to ask? Well, I would degree in politics. You like dubstep? I guess okay. Fave horror author. Creepypasta? I don't know, because he writes a lot of his own stuff too, and he narrates that. So that's really cool. That is really cool to me. Like the guy I talked about before on my video, the Night by Night. Oh man, I forgot his name wrong. Because I actually talked about this YouTuber. He's like a new guy. Go check him out. Night Night Tales. So he writes his own stuff too. Like that's so cool to me, man, because I like to write. You know, I like to write music as well, actually, but I also like used to write my own scary stories and narrate them on this YouTube channel. If you go back to my oldest videos, that's what I used to do, man. Like I didn't, you know, no one watched, but I mean, like I like doing it. Do you watch BuzzFeed Unsolved by Carrie? I don't know what that is. Let's Google that. Let's go. Never heard of that. I heard of BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed Unsolved. What the heck is this stuff? Okay. Nope. It's a YouTube channel or something, or what is BuzzFeed Unsolved? Okay, so it's like a BuzzFeed Blue. No, it's just part of the. Oh, that's pretty cool. No, I don't know about that. That's pretty sick. Oh, this is something I could do, actually. Yeah, my friends have been telling me to maybe expand my YouTube channel to doing more. I filmed a documentary before, so like doing more stuff similar to that, you know, instead of just voice narrating. Maybe they'll add some variety to my YouTube channel. Yeah, they're like, do this spammer in the chat. I kind of do and don't, because for me, guys, no offense, I've been doing this for like 2 years. Nothing really gets to me. I don't see them as spammers anymore. I see this as normal activity. Like, you know what I mean? I know a lot of you guys don't come here every time, but this is how the chat is. There's no way I can, you know, kick them out. Like, so just ignore it. I don't know. What will your next couple of videos be about? I can tell you, actually, because it's all I already planned this shit out. All right, you know what? Let's just tell you guys. So tomorrow's video is gonna be about the 4 long weekend stories, part 2, because the first one's got a shit ton of views, and then day after that, we're going to do 8 videos. I mean, it'll be 8 stories. It's a pretty freaking long video, but it's gonna be on some topic. I won't tell you guys yet. It'll be a surprise, and then the day after that is gonna be a ghost video, haunted house stuff. So yeah, look forward to that. Horror Studio 1 go ghost hunting, says Andy. I did that before. It's if you go to my playlist at the bottom of my homepage, I have a playlist for the documentary I filmed in the past. The first time I've seen your face, 2 face reveals in 1 week. I face reveal almost like every video, dude. Arkham says, have you ever played Outlast? I don't really play a lot of games. Yeah. I'm a published writer myself. That's cool. For a novel, what would its title be? The Tales of a YouTube horror narrator. And the story will be about a YouTube horror narrator gets haunted by a ghost by a Let's Not Meet stalker. Like a guy who listens to his videos, Let's Not Meet videos, gets influenced by his videos and ends up going to stalk him. That's like a black comedy as well, because that's kind of funny. Can you do a school lockdown stories? Yeah, I can. Skinwalker, I did do Skinwalker in the past, but I can do more of it. Have you ever seen anything scary as a kid? Nope. I watched a lot of scary movies. What got you into reading creepy stories? Seriously, creepypasta. I said that a million times. And I'm so shocked to see his face today. I mean, not today, but like this past week. It's insane. Like I flipped out. I screamed. But he does look kind of, no offense, but he does look kind of like nervous in front of the camera, because I mean I've been doing camera stuff for a while now, so I feel like I'm okay. But he's like his first time, and he had like a script and stuff. I don't need that stuff. I still love him though. Huge fan. Sweater Paw says, hey, your channel is awesome. I really love them. Keep up the amazing freaking work. Maybe some gnome stories. Yeah, I did. Did I ever do that? I think I did like 1 video on that, because there's not a lot of them. So you are my idol, and there's like a question mark. I don't know. Am I? Have you ever had a near-death experience? No. I never had a near-death experience. we're just gonna end it at that because there's nothing I can say. No, I have not. You want me to elaborate on that answer? No, like I don't want to either. Like Day says your videos are great. Thank you. Your videos are great. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So Adam says send your real life encounter. Sorry you couldn't get in today, but I don't know what's going on with the links. I don't know. Sam says, could you make sleepover horror stories? Your voice is also very calming. I binge listen to your videos on road trips and plane rides. Wow, that's crazy. I also enjoy your live streams, and I was like, oh my god, when you showed me out for. I ever go to any conventions like VidCon? Maybe if you guys want me to one day. Where's VidCon? Is that in California? Because that's like 90% of my viewers are in California. So if it's in California, then I feel like more people would show up. And so I definitely can't do a fan meeting in Toronto because, like, I don't know, like, if you go to my statistics as YouTubers, you can see, like, which place gets more viewers. Canada doesn't watch me as much. My own people don't watch me. My Asians don't watch me. It's more Americans. It's, like, weird. I don't know why, but that's how it is, I guess. You're the best ghost story channel ever because you upload every day. Thanks, man. I try my best, dude. What's your favorite horror story that someone has sent you? Or favorites of more than one? Holy cow, think about it. Look, I do 3 true scary stories per average a day. And I have over 700 something videos up. So that's over 2,000 stories. More than 2,000 stories. So that's close to like almost 2,500 stories I've read on my YouTube channel. I can't pick one, which is my favorite. It's just a lot. I've just done a lot, all right? Do you like the movie Frozen? Like, are you kidding? I haven't watched that movie. I apologize. Anyways, all right, so that's about it, I guess. It was fun. So next week, Tuesday, I should have a live stream, and I'll update on the Patreon for those who have donated. Yeah, bye.